Hi everyone, my name is Keith Brooks and this is Brooks Channel, and for today's video I'm going to be reading you some of the book that I've been working on. Now for those who don't know, I sometimes make little videos here on the channel talking about a comic book series I write called Outcasts. It's an action adventure fantasy story that I'm hoping to make into an official thing someday. And over the last 4 or 5 months, I've been working on a novel version of the beginning as a way to flesh out some of the world building, characterization, and all that. And at the time of making this video, I've completed half of that book. I've got the introduction and the first 6 chapters, and I intend for there to be 6 more chapters and an epilogue. Now, I've been planning for a while to read the book itself, maybe like a chapter every 1 to 2 weeks after it was finished, but I'm not entirely sure how long it's going to take me to finish the second half. I've been a bit slow on that lately. And in my own opinion, the first 6 chapters are basically, could be seen as its own story, so I figured I'd just start reading it now, starting with the introduction. It's only a few pages long, but I figured I'd start small. And just as a warning, this is only the first draft of the book, so some of it may not come out right or feel a little repetitive, and I'm probably going to change a few things over time. But regardless, I'll read it the best I can, and I hope you enjoy listening. So without further ado, let's open up the book and get started. There we go. Outcasts Novel Introduction. This world is a peculiar one. It is a world where the normal live alongside the abnormal. There are those that can perform superhuman feats of strength, manipulate the minds of those around them, command the elements, possess traits of animals, and even harness the power of their very souls. It is a world where reality and fiction coexist beyond what our own is capable of. However, like anywhere else, such drastic differences can lead to any number of unfortunate reactions. Baseless hatred, paranoia, and discrimination, just to name a few. Such was the case for one group of young individuals who were so unfairly shunned by most of their peers for their appearances, personalities, and abnormal abilities. Though due to this, those same youths would come together as friends, and would one day leave the home that mistreated them, resulting in a chain of events that would change the fates of not only them, but those they meet, and even the very world. All thanks to 6 young outcasts. Our story begins in a part of the world known as the United Regions, one of the largest continents on Earth. It is, as the name suggests, divided into 4 different regions, the North, South, East, and West regions, each primarily home to people with a certain type of ability. The North is home to those born with mana, people with the magical ability to create and or manipulate 8 different elements: earth, fire, wind, water, lightning, ice, light, and dark. To the west are the superhumans, those born with between 1 to 3 of their physical traits, at least 3 times more than what the average human is capable of, whether it be strength, speed, durability, or some rarer kinds. The East is home to those born with chi, spiritual energy that its users can harness to enhance their physical, mental, and spiritual abilities. Finally, to the South are normal humans, born without any sort of abilities. Others, such as the mentally powerful psychics and the human-animal hybrids known as primals, primarily live in other parts of the world. Our protagonists reside in the southern region, in the town of Highmore, a relatively small, simplistic town nestled in the middle of 4 long roads, each leading to a similarly sized town. Highmore, much like the rest of the South, is mostly populated by normal, powerless humans, who go about their lives as peacefully and ordinarily as possible. Though because of this, the majority of townspeople don't care much for those considered abnormal. The best example of this being the treatment of citizens capable of using magic. They are often mistreated and discriminated against due to the normal townspeople seeing magic as unnatural and for the weak. Most of these people can only afford to live in a reserved part of town known as the Magic District, which is basically just a glorified ghetto. Regardless of this, the people of the district make the most of it, even establishing its own mage guild for those who can't find work anywhere else in town. Known as the Sapphire Wolves Guild, it is quite small with just a little over 10 members, most of which need to accept work from far from town, with most locals not trusting them. Even through all this, the mages of Highmore make the best of what they have, and hope to become more accepted as time goes on. Overall, the town of Highmore, despite its peacefulness, is not very welcoming to those seen as too different than the general population. Though despite this fact, it is also where 4 of our main protagonists originally called home. One, an ordinary delinquent with high ambitions. Another, an overweight, temperamental superhuman wishing to follow in his teacher's footsteps. The third, an undersized mage in training, who desires to help his fellow mages become more accepted. And finally, an odd young boy with a more odd secret that only wishes to find friends who will accept him. This is how their story begins. Yep, and that's the introduction. Just a simple overview of the world itself, the continent it takes place in, the town it starts at, and a brief little description of the 4 main protagonists at the end. Yeah. And some of it did come off a little repetitive. I'm sorry about that. Like I said, I'm still working through. And hopefully I'll be able to improve it over time. That's why I'm working on the novel in the first place. And about a week or 2 from now, I'll read the first official chapter. That's when things will really start to kick off. Alright. Yeah. And yeah, also like to apologize if my reading or voice sounded a little awkward. I'm not used to reading aloud like this. Hopefully doing these will help me improve a bit. Anyway, I'll try to be better at that next time. Yeah, not much else to say, so I'm just gonna end the video here. And as always, please let me know your thoughts about this war in the comments. And with that, I will see you all in the next video. Bye.